Influence is a word at the center of all politics, but when that influence comes from outside the country, that's what sparked Flashpoint this morning. From the right, Mark Davis of 660 AM The Answer, and from the left, former Democratic State Rep Domingo Garcia.
Thanks, Jason. Good Sunday, everybody. And hey, dig our new graphic. Listen, if President Trump and Kim Jong-un can get together, Domingo and I can reach compromise on the two things we want to talk about. I'm guessing he wants to hit me up with the Avenatti, Stormy's lawyer, Russia thing, as if this is something. How close am I?
Well, you know, one of my favorite movies back from the Cold War was The Manchurian Candidate,
yes, about
a foreign power who controlled a president. And here we got a president, 2 out of his 3 wives, including his current one, are from communist bloc countries. His personal lawyer is admitted taking money from Russian oligarchs.
Well, actually, he's done no such thing.
Well, it's been out there in the press, and pretty sure it's not been denied.
And what significance is that? The Russian oligarch? There's no criminality there. There's nothing. There's no there.
And of course, Trump Jr.'s meetings with Putin and Earl Flynn's meetings with Putin. Not Earl Flynn, Michael Flynn.
Right.
So you show that there's a lot of Russian influence and puppeteering with our president, and then all of a sudden he decides to go to Korea. It sounds a lot like Nixon trying to avoid Watergate by going to China.
Now here's my half. North Korea, the return of those 3 Americans. Tell me that was not magnificent. Tell me it was not because of this president.
No, I think it's great. I give him kudos on that one.
We've got 30 seconds left. Well, I'll tell you what to do. You know what? I knew he was going to do that.
But doesn't it take away? Aren't you concerned as a Republican about the communists having so much influence over this presidency, or having
not this presidency, because we're not going to give in to him. Not this. I mean,
he fires Comey, and the next day he has the Russian ambassador in the White House. The first time that's ever happened. That doesn't ring alarms in your old post-communist.
I'm as alert to communism.
Cold War
I'm as alert to communism as I have ever been. I just feel better about it under this president. From the red half, 660 AM The Answer, Mark Davis.
And from the blue half, Domingo Garcia.
Is the Tea Party losing influence in the suburbs? Euless just elected a Muslim man to city council despite people using his religion to campaign against him. That's where we'll begin next on Reporters Roundtable.